This is the Maserati Grecale, codenamed Tipo M182. It's available in 4 variants. This is actually the base variant, the GT, which is priced at rupees 1.31 crores on road Mumbai. This is the key of the vehicle. The Maserati logo obviously looks very premium. Lock the car, unlock the car, open the boot and turn on the light of the vehicle. This car competes with the Porsche Macan. However, the Macan is going to be discontinued. I'll tell you the reason when we are driving this car. Obviously, straight away, let's open the engine bay. This being the base variant, has the base engine with the least power, but still it's powerful enough. A strut brace here. The engine has been pushed all the way behind for better weight distribution. The Maserati logo there says Maserati right there. This is for the mild hybrid system. It says 48 volt. This is where washer fluid goes in, and there's insulation here. This is actually the air box. It's a work of art. It's an Italian car at the end of the day. Maserati does not follow the herd. Okay, now you will say it looks like the Swift. However, I believe they designed it before Maruti Suzuki did it. But in person, it definitely looks very striking and also very unique. It gets this massive grille with the Maserati logo right there. It's quite open so that it breathes better. There's a front parking camera here, which is not centered. The Maserati logo here. It gets 6 parking sensors. So 1, 2 and 3. However, it does not get the self-park function. You get these open vents here for better breathing, obviously. Piano black finishing, provision for the towing hook, and these vertical slats actually have a chrome finish. The lights are on at the moment and the indicators on as well. You get a projector setup here. Again, the lights are very bright. You get the Maserati logo on the inside along with Maserati written there as well. So yes, a lot of branding, a lot of badging on this car. In fact, you would wonder, where is the radar for the ADAS system? Well, you keep hunting for that because let me show you, there's an air curtain here. Yeah, that's a functional air curtain right there. It also has a rain sensor right there on the top. Meanwhile, the length of this car is 4.85 meters. So yeah, it's decently long. However, the wheelbase is 2.9 meters, which is quite amazing. Sloping roofline, sort of a coupe design at the rear. This is the only Maserati SUV on sale right now because the Levante has been discontinued. It will come back as an EV. Says GT here, variant naming. And these vents seem to be fake to me. Are they fake or not? I don't really know. Kind of feel fake to me. And these are the typical Maserati design elements. The alloy wheels look really nice. Standard 19-inch tires. This car is having the optional 20-inch tires. 255, 45, 20 is the size of the tires. Maserati written here on the brake caliper as well. But they should have made the brake calipers red color because obviously silver is not that in your face. You get a parking camera here. Actually, 360-degree parking camera. So there's a camera here as well. The door handles are super unique. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of awesome. The Maserati logo has been pasted almost everywhere possible. And the design at the rear will remind you one thing, that Maserati does its own design. It does not follow the herd because there's no connected light treatment here. It does not have dynamic swipe indicators either. The lights look nice. This is the rear fog. Grecale written right there. Maserati badging here in the center. You obviously get a rear wiper. Rear washer spray comes out from there. High mounted stop lamp, sort of a rear spoiler, shark fin antenna as well, and the chrome which connects both the lights together. 6 parking sensors at the rear along with the provision for a towing hook, and you've got quad freaking exhaust. That's right, diffuser treatment, which looks quite nice, and you can see the underbody of this car. Oh my goodness, I kind of like everything about this Maserati. I think it's so unique now, so I will obviously love it. There's a camera here which does not get the cleaning function, which kind of shows you the age of this car, and it obviously gets a power tailgate. The size of the boot, 535 liters, and I think the manual has been kept here. Meanwhile, there is no spare wheel. Instead, you get a toolkit here. This is the warning triangle. You get a screw, towing hook, and obviously the tire inflator as well. So some storage space has been given here. You can put the seat down by just pulling it like this. Yeah, it's a 40-20-40 seat recline or seat fold, because of which you can increase the boot carrying capacity of this 535 liter boot. You obviously get a parcel shelf right there and a 12 volt charging socket, a hook, light placement, another hook. So yeah, it's kind of practical. And there's another blind here so that you get privacy. If I push it, I can actually open it, but I'm just going to put it back at the moment. And there's a light placement here, power tailgate, which is something you would definitely expect from a car of this price. Beautiful design. Fuel goes in right here. Yeah, only petrol power and electric also. Yeah, there's an electric version as well. Now, the interesting part is that you just pull this and then the seat reclines. So they have done a Poka yoke here because if you're seated inside and the door is closed, you cannot put the seat down only. So that's kind of smart. And the seat belt has been placed here, so it never gets stuck inside. Armrest automatically opened. Yeah, if you want to make it 20% for carrying longer items, you can do that too. Doors open like really wide, almost say 82.5 degrees, which is kind of nice. There's a reflector here so people behind can see if you're coming. or if you are here already, Maserati written here, and you can unlock and lock the car from here as well. Door pockets are decent size at the rear. Rear sunblind should have been offered, but it's not offered unfortunately. There you get the speaker. Again, the audio system is very advanced here. Piano black finishing. That's interesting. There's a big hump here because of which center passenger is not really welcome, even though he has a head. Meanwhile, AC also flows from here. I think this is so that air goes behind, and then you have a USB-C as well as a USB-A rear AC vents, and obviously it has got 3-zone climate control air conditioning system. You get heated rear seats as well, and you can operate this from the front too. Again, aircraft style magazine holders, height adjustable seat belts. I think it has got 6 airbags, good amount of space. Under thigh support is also decent, but headroom is not the best, and the problem is that the seat is a bit too upright and you cannot recline the seat. So yeah, this should have been a bit more reclined, or at least given us the option of reclining it. Maserati logo here. You get a center armrest with twin cup holders. You can also keep your mobile phone here if you want. The dashboard looks lovely. It's so unique. Lot of leather on the dashboard. It's just amazing. One of the major reasons why you would buy this car is for the quality of the interior. It's so unique. It's so nice. I absolutely love it. And you have to press this button to open the door. So yeah, that is also very unique with this sort of a knurled finishing. They've really put a lot of emphasis and effort on the design of this car, and it really shows because the car is just mind-blowing in terms of the design, the aesthetics and all those things. Here is where the chassis number has been written, which is usually the case in every possible car these days. I think it's sort of a mandate in Europe probably. Let's get inside. Now, a lot of interesting bits because it's not the usual bits which you see in other cars. This is Maserati. It's very different. So you get, I think, a 12-way adjust, 4-way adjust for the lumbar. You get nice metal pedals here, electric parking brake right there. Door pockets are not that big at the front either. And this is the fail-safe mechanism just in case this button fails, so you can open the door from here as well. Now, these are illuminated switches. This is for the child lock, obviously. Lock the car, unlock the car. Controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment, one touch up and down, obviously. And look at this speaker. It says Sonos Faber Artisan of Sound. Audio quality is obviously mind-blowing here. Now let's step inside, and the seats are amazing. I love the quality, especially on the dashboard. Now you will love this whole finishing, which is very, very, very premium. Can you leave, please? Thanks, mosquito. And the Maserati logo there on the windscreen as well. So I think it has got a solar glass and all those things. Auto dimming here, and it has this massive panoramic sunroof, which obviously, first and foremost, let's turn on the air conditioning, which obviously takes its own sweet time to open and close. So I've closed it right now, and let's open it. Look at the amount of time it takes. Meanwhile, there's a microphone here. There's a handle for the driver to hold on to as well. This panel in this, okay, it only opens the first half, and you have to press it again to open the second half. Shall we attack you? Yes, we shall. I don't know where the mosquito fell, but that's gone. Now let's open this one. There it opens. It actually opens even further. If I press a button, there it opens. So that brings in a lot of airy feeling inside what is an absolutely amazing cabin. Leather everywhere. It's just awesome. Glove box is lockable. It's decent sized as well. Here you've got some storage space as well. They say keep the key here. Can you see that? Yeah, keep the key there. 12-volt charging socket on the inside. So I'm just going to keep the key here because that's where the key should be according to Maserati. You've got dual cup holders here. Nice quality and storage space here. So all I have to do is open one of them, and you have got a USB-C as well as a USB-A. A wireless charging pad has been given, and the AC vents are very easy to operate. You can turn them on and off from here. You get a heads-up display as well, and the steering is adjustable both for reach as well as rake, and it is electric. Yes, it's all electric here. This is a 12.3-inch screen. This is also 12.3-inch screen. This is actually an 8.8-inch screen. So there are 3 screens here, like what Audi does, but the whole UI is kind of confusing. So this is actually the home screen. Then we can come into media, we can come into navigation. Let me just show you the map here. That is the map. It's kind of slick. Then you can come into phone. There's Apple CarPlay, there's Android Auto. Both of them work wirelessly as well. And then you can come into the tire pressure monitor. What is the oil level? You can explore here what are the drive modes. So when you change the drive mode now, it actually shows you here. Yes, it shows you when you change the drive mode. There you see. But if you're not in this menu now, then also it shows you. So whenever I change a drive mode there, it's showing me comfort, GT or sport. So that's kind of nice. GT is like the mid mode, sort of the normal mode. Let's come into the vehicle. Then you can come into the e-hybrid system, because obviously it has got a 48-volt mild hybrid system, performance metrics along with torque management, and a drag race meter as well. And then you have some gauges here. So there's so many things you can do here. But the surround view camera does not have a 3D view. So you've got multiple camera views, but there is no 3D view, and the camera quality is okay. It's not great. There are a lot of apps to play with, but it's a bit too confusing. It could have been slicker, and obviously when you turn on and off the car, it says Maserati right here. Now this screen does a lot more functions. First and foremost, I've come into ambient lighting. There are 3 ambient light colors. There's warm, there's neutral, and there is cold. Yeah, that's about it. And then I can make changes to the seats from here. So the memory function is saved inside here. That's a bit cumbersome. In fact, the light control is also here. You turn on and off the lights from this screen, including the rear fog. So AC controls, parking sensors, stop start system, downhill assist, ESC off, all from this particular screen. So a lot is being reliant on the touch. And then from here, you can do the volume control as well, which is something you get used to. Then you can turn on the seat heating as well as the seat ventilation. So this is actually for the front seats, including steering heating as well, because obviously this car sells a lot in European countries where steering heating is a very useful feature. Let's come into the seat function. Let's get out of here. Why did I even come there? Let me turn on the air conditioning. So temperature control, fan control, but heating and ventilation don't work simultaneously. Only one of them works at one time. This is nice, but this clock bit is a bit interesting. See, it says classic. So this is actually a digital clock. It's not analog. So I can change it to sport. I can change it to a different digital one as well. I can put a compass here. I can put the pedals, so it shows when I'm applying brakes or getting onto power. And that can also be converted into a G meter. So yeah, this is something traditional Maserati fans may or may not like as such. Light controls here on the top. This is very premium, and this does not extend only. Same is the case there as well. And the steering also has a lot of buttons. So this is actually the engine start button. This is to change the drive mode. So yeah, now I'm in sport. If I want to come back to comfort, I have to go behind. I can't keep rotating it. And this is for the adaptive suspension. There's no air suspension here. Steering feels really nice to hold. The horn is also nice. Lot of buttons here. This is actually for the cruise control system, and this is obviously for the ADAS. This one to determine how much distance you want to maintain with the car ahead. Now this is so that you can browse through this screen. It says parking brake auto engaged. Okay, just forget all this. That's none of your business. Let me come into the screen and show you what all it has got. Okay, it's not going to rest unless and until I just disable the parking brake. Now let's come into this particular screen. So there are a lot of things you can see here which you can change by pressing a button, including the tire pressure monitor. It shows you what's the charge on the 48-volt battery as well. And here it's showing me the ADAS menu, and then I can go through this particular menu as well, because there are twin trip meters, there's a speedometer which you can convert into miles per hour, like really fast and slick. So yeah, that's how it works. But then there are 3 different modes for the cluster. So this is the classic one. This is the evolved one, which looks a little different. I need to come out of this to show you. Yeah, that is how the evolved one looks. And again, I can browse through a lot of stuff here. Then I'm going to come into the minimal one, which is known as the relaxed one, which has lesser information. Cluster modes could be definitely better, and you might be wondering where are the buttons to operate the audio system. Well, the buttons are behind. Remember, this is part of the Stellantis group, so Jeep has been doing it, and it's a Jeep platform, so obviously buttons are here behind. Both sides you get buttons for volume and going ahead and behind for a track. Once you get used to it, you will like it. Now the paddles are like really very long. They are fixed. They don't move with the steering wheel, and they are very high quality as well. In fact, the quality of this thing is also high quality. Knurled, yes, that is for the wiper control. This is for the headlight control. The car is just amazing in terms of the aesthetic and quality. In fact, it takes the name of the car when you turn on the car. So I'm just going to press this button here, and there it shows the Grecale silhouette. It says Maserati here. The seat actually went behind. So let me turn on the car. As soon as I do that, it turns on and the seat moves ahead, because it has this welcome and goodbye function as well. But enough of yapping, because I've been yapping a lot. You can do memory for a lot of functions here. Yeah, I can go and save stuff here if I want. Operate the rear AC, seat heating, and all those things as well from here. So a lot of stuff you can do, and there is no column mounted gas selector or a gas selector here. Instead, you click on these buttons to decide if you want to be in reverse or if you want to be neutral or drive and manual mode and all. Everything is done from these buttons. They could have saved space here, but they're given us physical buttons for gas selection. That's kind of different and unique. In fact, where did the key go? Oh, did I just keep the key here? Yeah, I did. Let me get this out right now. Let's turn off the car. The attention to detail is such now, it's mind-blowing, because it has the Maserati logo here as well. Why are there so many Maserati logos in this car? I have absolutely no clue. There's a tweeter placement right there showing me exactly which door is open. So high resolution screens, but the whole system and the UI is a bit confusing and it takes some time getting used to all this. Let me quickly shut the door. There's no soft close door function here. For the price, I would expect that to be there for sure. Let's keep this button pressed. Let's see if the windows roll down. They should definitely roll down. It's an Italian car. Come on. Firstly, the car only did not lock. What does it say? Oh no. Yes. Vehicle is not in park. Oh God. Yes. Press park button. Now hopefully it will shut. Car is being a bit iffy today. Now it gets locked. I still see stuff on the screen. Can you imagine how complex things can get? Now it is finally off. Oh my goodness, it took a lot of steps. And let's lock the car. There, the windows obviously, rather the outside rear view mirrors shut. They obviously close. And now let's keep this button pressed. If the windows don't roll down, I'll be in a big shock right now. 3, 2, 1. No, 3, 2, 1. Oh no. Yeah, there they roll down. So obviously all the windows roll down. Does the sunroof open? No, the sunroof does not open. In fact, if you notice one thing, light placement here on the top at the rear, that has been given as well. The rear window rolls down all the way, but enough of yapping. This is a Maserati, so it should drive very swiftly because at the end of the day, this car is all about the desire it creates within you. Let's go. Brakes are good, but a lot of judder. All right, it's time to start driving. Interesting part is that it actually shows you the Maserati logo here. Press this button, kind of feels like a sports car, and there it rose to life. Yes, I accept whatever you say. I'm agreeing to whatever you want. Let's turn off the air conditioning straight away. There's the memory set to ventilation. It always turns on the ventilation every time I turn on the car. We come into vehicle here because I can see a few different things. Yeah, it's a bit slow at times. Performance, come on. Yeah, there are the gauges. And straight away, we are going to come into sport mode. As soon as I come into sport mode, now the stop start system does not work. Stop start not allowed in this drive mode. Very nice. I like it. Try to turn off the ESC. It doesn't turn off only, it presses, it clicks, it doesn't really turn off as such, so I don't know what's happening there. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, and firstly come into gear, and we are in gear now, revving the motor. Okay, first and foremost, let's actually come into neutral, and let's see if there's a soft limiter here or not. Okay, hazard lights need to be on still. The car is rolling back because we are in neutral, so we're going to come into park, and listen to this, okay? Get rid of this thing, Red line still 5000 RPM in neutral. Can't really hear much as such. Drive, hazards off, revving the motor, no launch control, rev still almost 3000 RPM and off we go. Oh my God, it gives you a full jolt when it does an upshift, and then the biggest problem of this car starts. At 80 km per hour, it starts the speed alarm, which is usually the case here, right? With every car in India. Problem is, it keeps ringing only as if it's hit 120 km per hour. So that's a huge issue in this car. Whoever got the memo at Maserati to fix this did it all wrong. They were supposed to give one beep, not give a continuous beep. And the problem is there's a continuous beep which keeps coming throughout once you hit 80 km per hour. I was reading a few reviews and everyone was like complaining about the speed alarm. I'm like, all cars have it. What's there to complain? Now I know what is the problem. This speed alarm just does not stop. In fact, when I was doing the brake test now, I hit 80 km per hour and I stomped on the brakes. And the car was still having the speed alarm ringing till almost another 5-7 seconds because it was stuck at 80 kilometers per hour mentally. Anyways, we hit some patch of traffic. Let me tell you, this car is actually very usable because obviously it has good ground clearance. This is the only Maserati SUV on sale right now. The Levante has been discontinued. The Quattroporte has been discontinued. The Ghibli has been discontinued. A lot of discontinuation has happened, and I'm sure that must be a Creta driver who's honking, or maybe a Tucson driver. Oh, Creta drivers have upgraded. No, that is an i20 driver. He aspires to buy a Creta for sure because he is so horny, which makes me want to honk as well because the horn is actually very nice here. I'm going to use the wipers. Notice one thing. the spray actually comes from the wipers itself. The nozzle is somewhere there in the wiper embedded. Again, all about design. 0 to 100 in 6.53 seconds. Actually goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.6 seconds. It's a bit slower today by almost a second because obviously the road is wet, it is raining. It has got all-wheel drive. Control is actually very nice. The grip levels are phenomenal, but it makes a lot of sound. Yeah, lane keep assist sound, and then obviously the speed alarm sound and all that. Let's come to the heart of the matter. It's a 2-liter engine which is 4 cylinders. It's turbocharged. Obviously it has a very nice name. It is called as the GME T4 multi-air turbo i4. i4 obviously means it's a 4-cylinder inline 4 multi-air, because Fiat is always been calling the engine something like multi-air and T-Jet and turbojet and whatnot. This engine has mild hybrid technology which gives it an instant boost lower end of the rev range, because of which it doesn't have any lag as such lower down, so feels really nice and punchy even when you're driving it in the city. And somehow this engine doesn't feel turbocharged at all. It has got instant grunt, feels very linear and revs really fast to its red line of around 6000 rpm, which is a bit less for an Italian engine. But yeah, red line is okay. Let's spray some water. Red line is something which comes really quick here, so it feels punchy lower down. It has a good mid range, it feels nice in the top end. Only thing is the red line should have been higher. I expected 7000 rpm at least, but it's marked only till 7000 rpm. What will it go beyond that? And this particular engine is very smooth, refined, but it's loud vocal on the outside. On the inside you can't hear anything at all, and that's because they've done a great job with insulation, which they should have not done here, because I want to hear the engine. I can't hear the engine. It's so silent. Outside it sounds really nice and glamorous. The engine is like very vocal, especially the exhaust. For a 4-cylinder engine, they have done a phenomenal job. In fact, this brings me to the performance. For a 2-liter engine, it punches out 300 horsepower, which is very impressive. Torque output is 450 Newton meters, which is okayish, but the result is that the performance is really punchy. Now this is the base GT. The Modena has the same freaking engine, but output increases to 330 horsepower, so 30 horsepower increase, which cuts down the 0 to 100 km per hour time by 0.3 seconds, making it go from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 5.3 seconds. The top speed of this car is 240 km per hour. I think they have restricted it there. This car also has an electric compressor to improve the low end grunt, the low end performance. So that also, I mean, is something which really helps, because for a 2-liter engine it definitely punches way above its weight. Now it has all-wheel drive. It has an 8-speed ZF source torque converter gearbox, which is not the fastest with shifts, and then because you have got paddles you can manually take control of things. Don't do that. It takes a lot of time for the gearbox to respond. It's best left in auto only. So even if I get into manual mode here, let's see if it holds on to a gear. I doubt, but oh, it does at slightly more than 6000 rpm. That's nice. It gives me manual control. I'm impressed. And how I like this gauges here. It's kind of cool, obviously. Now this car is underpinned by the same platform which also underpins the latest generation of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is actually in its 5th generation. So the same platform is also used by the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Italian names are really hard to pronounce, and that's the reason I'm not able to name the platform. It's known as Giorgio. I don't know. That's how they call it. So it's a bit difficult to pronounce for sure. But if you have money and if you want to buy a fast Grecale, then you should definitely opt for the Trofeo, which is actually having a 3-liter V6 engine, and that comes from the freaking MC20, resulting in a power output of 530 horsepower and 620 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Hold your breath. It takes just 3.8 seconds. Top speed is 285 kilometers per hour, which is mind-blowing to say the least. But the biggest USP of this car is the way it handles. It hugs the corners, and it just feels so amazing to drive when you just put it through its paces, through a set of corners. It stays glued to the road and feels so great in terms of the handling capabilities. This guy is also pushing, it's an Audi Q5, but still that car, no, it's a Q3 actually. It's still impressive how that Q3 is able to maintain its line. Again, all-wheel drive for the win. Quattro. Rear-wheel drive would mean that you would have more fun going through that particular corner there. Anyways, like I said, this is all about the driving feel. It's very engaging. The steering is absolute. Stay in lane, bro. I can't be more in lane than this. This car is just so nosy. Keeps giving me all these warnings all the time. So like I was telling you, performance is good for a 2-liter engine, but it's really the handling, the steering feel. It feels absolutely mind-blowing the way it's so freaking responsive. The steering is just lovely. It's a point and shoot steering wheel. Body roll is very well contained. Weight balance is phenomenal here. This is an absolute joy car to drive because the steering has good amount of feel, it has good amount of feedback, it's so responsive, it's so crisp, it's so feedback rich, you know exactly where you're pointing the wheel. That's how good the steering wheel is, and that's something which really impresses me. Absolutely stunning performance in terms of the way the car is able to hold its line, the grip levels it offers, the way it moves around, the way it just feels like a sports car on stilts. That's how phenomenal it is. And then when I make a quick U-turn, I get into the power. Nothing happens, bro. Nothing happens. Yeah, it is obviously set up on the... Okay, that's a Creta driver. Let's give him a taste of his own medicine. Even though he didn't honk, I was like, still, I'll give him a bit of a taste of his own medicine. So yeah, like I was telling you, the ride is also good. Obviously, it's on the stiffer side and low profile tires don't really help. But yeah, the ride is actually quite impressive for something like this. Let's change the clock mode here because we can. Clock is very boring. So let's come into the pedal mode so you know how much brake or throttle I'm applying here. Let's reset this. We're going to time this car again. Hopefully you're going to be able to perform better. I don't know why ESC cannot be turned off. That's a bit of a problem here. And it's time for left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. Oh my goodness, I'm so stupid. I'm in manual mode, so the car did not launch only. So we're going to try that again. We are in normal drive mode. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Can I change this to the e-hybrid? Of course I can. Come on, load, load, load. And off we go. Look at this. All the colors possible can be seen here. 0 to 100 km per hour in 5.7 seconds. So yeah, I was able to get close to Maserati's claim, which means on a dry road, I will be way faster than what Maserati claims. Yes, I am quite impressed, but I'm not impressed by this speed alert, which always rings. Now let's change the drive mode. Okay, there is the GT mode, which is sort of a normal drive mode, which obviously does performance. And then there's the comfort mode, which is more comfort oriented because this car's got adaptive dampers, because of which obviously the suspension feels much more compliant when you're driving it in comfort mode. But in sport mode, it feels a lot more stiffer. You can feel a bit more off the road, and that's something which you have to deal with. But that's something you would use on the track. But this is not really a track car. This is more of a car which you would drive long distances, and it's a car you would love to drive around the ghats because look at the way it maintains its line. It's absolute theater. Yes, the kind of balance it has around the corners puts a massive smile on your face. That's how beautiful it is to drive, which actually brings me to the variant which I didn't tell you about of this particular car, which is the Folgore. I don't know how to pronounce that. F-O-L-G-O-R-A. Folgore. Okay, so that's actually a variant which has 550 horsepower and 820 Newton meters of torque. So more power, more torque than even the Trofeo. So it should be faster, right? Wrong. It has a 105 kilowatt hour battery pack, which obviously makes it quite heavy, because of which it obviously takes around 4.2 seconds, so rather 4.1 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Claim range is 500 kilometers, top speed is 220 kilometers per hour. It's the most powerful, most torquey version of the Grecale, yet the slowest. Yeah, that's the reason I say no to EVs. Actually, Maserati has discontinued the Levante, the Quattroporte, the Ghibli and all those cars because they want to focus towards an electrified future. And that's the reason why in the future, we will get the Levante back as well as the Quattroporte, but as electric vehicles. And the current lineup of Maserati is very limited. There's the MC20 and there's the Gran Turismo. This is also there, which is kind of the entry level car from Maserati, which competes with the Porsche Macan, but the Macan is sort of dead because it's gone electric only, and the ICE Macan does not meet new European cybersecurity laws, because of which it's going to be discontinued really soon, which is really sad and makes me want to cry because I've hit so much traffic also. This car is priced at rupees 1.51 crores on road Mumbai, going all the way to 2.36 crores on road Mumbai. So yes, it is expensive, but then it's also very exquisite. It doesn't get a V8 engine, unfortunately. All those three cars which I mentioned earlier, they had V8 engines, they had V6s as well. That V8 engine was actually developed by Ferrari. That is kind of amazing. Let's come into sport mode straight away. Oh, see, I'm not even at 80 and it's still ringing the speed alarm. So that's something which has to be tuned properly, because that's something which is being done in a very messy way. Because let's see, what speed are we on? See, it's still there. It's so delayed. It needs to shut. 80 kilometers per hour, you can't ring continuously. You can only ring continuously after 120 kilometers per hour. So that's something which Maserati definitely needs to sort. But as I see it, this is not a car which will really appeal to your head because it's not the most intuitive in terms of the UI. I discovered one thing: if I turn on the AC and if I swipe rightwards, I can increase the fan speed. I swipe leftward, I can decrease the fan speed. So if I swipe right, left, fan speed increases and decreases. Up and down, you can increase, decrease the temperature. So this is something which is very unique and nice, because this is something which makes it much easier to use. With the lack of buttons, you will be like, oh my god, that's so difficult. But no, it's not that bad. And there we have the turbo and torque pressure as well. There you can see, that's amazing. And here I am also having ADAS. Yeah, it has got multiple ADAS menus. Only thing is, seems a bit too intrusive here. It's showing me a bus as a bus or a truck and a Mercedes GLS as a sedan there, because why not? Yeah, but the ADAS system is actually working quite well if the lanes are obviously marked. Otherwise, not so much there. It's just a lot of sound in this car. That's the reason music is extremely important here, because when you have the music on, it will hopefully dull the sound of all these things. So guys, this is my video of the Maserati Grecale. It's a fantastic car. It's expensive. Maserati's sales and service network is also wafer thin in India. That's a bit of an issue. But if you want something which is unique and not another German luxury SUV, oh my goodness, what is it doing? It's pulling me right, left and center. That's how aggressive the lane keep assist is. So yeah, if you want something unique and not the regular German luxury SUV, then this car is definitely worth considering. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Downshift, bro. It doesn't downshift only. Oh my god, it's showing WagonR also. Firstly, shut this, huh? Yeah, let me shut this. It's showing a WagonR as a sedan as well, so that's a bit of a problem. It should at least show it as a G-Wagon, not as a sedan or whatever. Bye bye. Wait a second, I just realized it's actually showing me motorcycles as motorcycles or scooter as motorcycles. So that's quite interesting how this, oh my goodness, all of a sudden this bike came in between me and the car ahead, and then it vanished as well, and then it's showing me a bike ahead. It's not reading the bike right in front, and then it's reading a truck and all those things. This is actually a very nice system, and I like the fact, like Aston Martin, they have this reverse speedometer. The Scorpio guy is flashing continuously behind. I don't know what's happened to him, but check this out. The cars move so aggressively, the road keeps shifting. Don't know what's happening, but it's kind of cool how this all works. Let's see if it's able to recognize if there's a motorcycle around or not, because it's been able to for the most part. There you see, come on. Nope, that's a car. Come on. Oh, that's a car getting into the truck and then all of a sudden moving like this. Problem is, now some of the ADAS systems menu or this display actually seems to be like come from Tetris. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Bye bye.